start they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player male. Say, what you talking that funky. It's about my face, wearing that monkey. Not that, that might give you life advice. Get some money.
Well, the cold weather certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Tonight we've got an AFC matchup on tap between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. Well, it's impossible to see the Raiders and Steelers in Pittsburgh and not think of our namesake, the late, great John Madden, and the Immaculate Reception game, which celebrated its 50th anniversary yesterday. It was December 22nd, 1972. So this game, a nice little nod from the schedule makers, no doubt. And the Raiders have gotten a little bit of revenge. He's got him in, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Divine Diablo there to make the stop. The Steelers at 12-2 now on the year. They come in losers at 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Harris going to get it again on second down. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. Well, they had the great field position to start that opening drive. They only get 3 out of it, but still they get 3. So maybe kind of a win for the offense, Charles, and kind of a win for the defense as well.
Yeah, I would say win-win seems to sum the whole thing up because where that ball was placed to start, that's tough on the defense, and they held them to 3. Now, if you're the offense, you're thinking to yourselves, how do we open up the playbook later on in this game and turn this 3 into 6s down the stretch?
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle, and they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Wilson. Got a man. It's Mims. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They go play action with Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Micah Fitzpatrick.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Now a give. Running left is Harris. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Pick it now, 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. action. Now Wilson. Looking here for Smith downfield. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know. Looking ahead.
Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. Bubba Bolden in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Throwing on third down. Here's Pickett. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he will have the Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Harris running straight ahead. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing is Wilson. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Pickett now on 1st down. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch there. And he fires one that's intercepted. There he goes, left side. 30, 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And oh, it's blocked. The Steelers get it. But he is finally run down. Would have been 2 if he made it all the way, but instead, simply a missed extra point.
We have seen some exciting returns of blocked extra points. This one doesn't quite get into that level, but there had to be an anxious moment after it was blocked, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think sometimes they still forget on both sides when that block comes on a PAT that you can return it for 2. He got it across midfield there, just not close to the end zone.
Yeah, you noted that moment of hesitancy, didn't you? You know, his block's like, oh, yeah, that's right, it can be returned, and which means you have to get back and tackle him, too.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Pickett. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. With it is Jackson. Runs over him. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Larry Ogunjobi able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Third and long, it's Wilson. Airing it out deep for Smith. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. All even through 1 half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, the first half very even. I mean, really in all facets. This ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the 3rd quarter, curious to see what the 2nd half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. The safety Terrell Edmonds picks it.
And the Steelers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Pickett throwing again on 2nd down.
It's complete to Watt.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And this is something you don't see too much of. Fullbacks trying to stretch the field. But he does a nice job there getting lost out in space and comes up with a really nice gain.
Off play action, Pickett.
Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
Boswell's kick is good, and they take the lead here as it's now 9-6.
Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. The backup Stidham, his first throw.
trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
My controller won't let me do nothing, man. It paused it or something. It won't let me pick a play or nothing.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll begin on the ground with Jenkins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Colton Miller, former first-round pick, called for the penalty there. Now it's Stidham. Looking for Mims, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A good pickup there, a 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Stidham. Oh, wide open. Complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Vincent Smith with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Raiders are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Milton Williams there on the tackle. One quarter remains here in Week 16. Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again.
And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Pickett sets up play action. Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown.
George Pickens,
52 yards.
And the Steelers look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Stidham to throw.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Stidham sets to throw on 1st. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Stidham. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
And Stidham throws another interception, his 3rd.
Picked up by DeMonte Kazin.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw, Pickett. Flush to his right. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
On 2nd down, here's Stidham. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Stidham on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Stidham. Looking here for Smith downfield. Well, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. They hand this off to Harris. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss there, now 3rd and 14.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The Steelers send out their punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Here's Jackson to return. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He hits Adams, complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where his coaches...
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Stidham. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here we go. Stidham on fourth down. Airing it out deep for Smith. And now here's another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Steelers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So
Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate. Full from all of the base. My A-spoon going, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm beyond Sanders on haters. This ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight. I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stocked my bare kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The alpha and omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning, my catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the south out my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos, knocking doors down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made, walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser, I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let you heard, we eatin', talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad, pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab, pay what it cost for the tab, extra with the bag, young Chris a king, better add extra on the. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
It's that hate, boy.
Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team.